Rainmode's workshop is now 2 months old. Since last month, there has been some major developments in the modding scene. Some big 1.5 mods have been ported. RainDB has now been transformed into a mirror download site. For some reason, everyone kept making Daddy Longlegs variant mods. I don't know, they're not even a good enemy, let's be honest. And most importantly, Slugbase by Slimecube has been ported, which is a framework that lets you add new slugcats, or sometimes squicaders, to the game. This is a major development as it allows developers to effectively make their own custom slugcat, and possibly a campaign for said slugcat, which is great for normal Rainworld players, as more campaigns is more good. Before I jump into the video, I want to say spoiler warning, blah blah blah, you get the idea. I also want to mention that if you don't see certain mods in this video, there's probably a reason why. I have a criteria for putting mods in this video, which sounds a lot more prestigious than it actually is. I will talk about said criteria at the end of the video, but I just wanted to mention this now, in case you were curious about the absence of certain mods. Alright, sorry about that boring tangent, let's get on with the fat mods. The first mod is Enemy Randomiser by Mojosoup. It's pretty self-explanatory, it randomizes enemies. Not much to say here, it's pretty fun, it's a staple of any modding in any game, and it's definitely a way of spicing up your future playthroughs. The next mod is Emerald's Tweaks and Features by Emerald Galaxy. The mod adds a bunch of accessibility features to the game. Now, me being the absolute solid weapon of a gamer that I am, doesn't need these silly accessibility features. So why am I including it on this list then? Well, the mod adds 2 cosmetic changes to the game. The first is a hidden feature that randomly changes a creature's colours rarely. This is like the albino vulture from Downpour, however it is much more common and changes affected creatures' colours significantly. Here is a cool strawberry lizard, which I definitely didn't cause a small genocide just to obtain. It also affects items too, like this vulture mask, which is bright red. So when I was recording gameplay of this vulture mask, a king vulture harpooned a scavenger and then got eaten by a monster kelp, taking the scavenger with it. Nah, waterfront facility is wild. Now, since this random coloration can affect any item, you can get some really cool combinations and get dripped out. Another feature of Emerald Tweaks is Slugsomnia. This is a simple feature that simulates Slugcat waking up early during Rainworld's nighttime. I know the lore nerds are fuming right now, but it's a cool mod, like, shush. I did encounter this rainbow pole mimic on my dusk time stroll, which was pretty cool. And Shoreline's dusk palette looks really cool as well. I really like these 2 features as it adds spice to the game, without compromising the actual gameplay. The next mod is Checksum Unfix by Garrakx. This is probably the 3rd worst thing to come out of the workshop so far. The next mod is The Friend by MusicalMiracle. The Friend is a custom slugcat made with Slugbase. It is a fluffy light blue slugcat set before Saint. The Friend is adapted to the snow, with the ability to maul and eat creatures, but at half the efficiency of Hunter. It requires 3 food to hibernate and can store 4, meaning it could sleep 2 cycles in a row without starving. The Friend also has unique movement. It is really bad at walking for some reason, but can crawl on the ground very fast. This alone makes the Slugcat's movement unique and fun. Its natural jump is also incredibly high, and it is proficient at climbing poles. Now, as the name might imply, the Friend is friendly towards lizards. It starts its campaign at 100% reputation with lizards, meaning they won't attack you at all. This has a downside, however, as scavengers are minus 75% reputation, meaning they will attack you on sight. Unlike Artificer, this can be amended, however, so you could choose to make friends with them. This mod also adds 2 new creatures to the game, in the form of the baby lizard and the mother lizard. The baby lizards seem to bumble around, as they are newborn and don't know the ways of the cold, harsh world. They are small enough to be picked up and can come in a variety of colours. I did try mauling them, but it seems to do no damage. Science, baby. They are seemingly hunted by bigger lizards, as well as predators such as vultures. The baby lizards alone are defenseless, but with the mother lizard nurturing and protecting them, they may be the safest creature in the ecosystem. The mother lizards are massive lizards, with pale pink for their head colour. They are surrounded by their young baby lizards, protecting them. Well, protecting might not be the right word, since they look like they're constantly tired, just like real-life parents. Although they seem sluggish and apathetic, if their child is suddenly put in danger, they will attack the threat mercilessly, often killing it instantly. Like when I was testing this, I didn't know about the whole maternal instinct thing. So out of nowhere, I just see this vulture get absolutely obliterated by the mother lizard. Oh my god, I was so shocked. I checked in the files and these lizards don't spawn anywhere, so you have to use Beastmaster or Dev Console to spawn them in. But now's a good time to mention that this mod is in beta. This means the mod is still in development, and many things are still yet to be added. Mainly a unique story with regions, art, and lore, akin to the more slugcats campaigns. As for the mod right now, I think it's a perfect example of how to actually design a new slugcat. Its movement is very unique and fun, and high lizard reputation has not been explored in any existing slugcats. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this mod. I'll give it another entry in this series once it's fully been updated with all its cool features. Expedition Extra Config by Wolfo adds extra expedition config. The main reason I'm including it in this video is the rain multiplier options, which makes rivulet cycles short like in the main campaign. For some reason, Expedition gives rivulet its long cycles, which kind of removes the fun and difficulty from the character. The shorter cycles may be unappealing to some people, but you can configure it so Expedition objectives gives you bonus points if you enable shorter cycles. There is a bunch of other settings, but I'm not really interested in them, so you can check them out yourself. Surface Swimmer by Marbeline adds a new funny little creature to the game. They don't really do much, but they do enjoy forming conga lines on the surface of the water. They resemble an egg bug, but with long spindly legs. They reference the real-life bugs that utilize water surface tension in order to stay afloat. Since they are bugs, they can be killed with spore puffs, and when eaten they give 1.5 food pips to Gourmand, and presumably 3 to Hunter and Artificer. I think my favourite part about these funny guys is their ability to do cool somersaults, like look at them go. Beecat by Vigaro adds a new slugcat with the help of Slugbase. This slugcat is like a bee, crazy, and its main power is the ability to glide long distances. This gives it great horizontal mobility, but don't rely on this ability too much as it can run out mid-air. Beecat's walking speed is faster than the average slugcats, and it requires 5 food to hibernate and can store 6. Beecat is omnivorous and can eat all types of food. However, it eats at half the efficiency for all types of food, which effectively doubles its food pips. So it requires 10 food pips to hibernate and can store 12. You may notice its tail growing in size. This is because the more Beecat eats, the more its tail grows. Eventually, once its tail is big enough, it can do the Goomba Stomp move that Gourmand can. This is deadly when paired with the glide ability, as it makes getting into position to drop on a target much easier. While gliding, Beecat has the option to throw items upwards or downward, which works exactly how it does in a backflip. This is another useful ability, and you can do some really cool spear shots and drive-bys with it. Just like the friend, Beecat has a lot of ambitious plans, with custom regions, creatures, story, items, etc. I actually made a room for this mod, so I may be a bit biased, but the Beecat campaign holds a lot of potential. Editing Balagaga here, Beecat just got updated. It now has an improved design, looking much more like a bee. The selection screen art has now been updated, with banging new art by Thriffer attacks. I also forgot to mention that Beecat is the most color customizable slugcat out there, so you can customize Beecat however you want. Anyway, back to the video. Catnap by Jewel gives all slugcats the ability to take a nap. Taking a nap greatly speeds up time, and you, the player, can observe the ecosystem occurring around the slugcat. I enjoyed watching funny scavengers in Metropolis, or the sun setting in Outer Expanse, and sleeping right under a monster kelp, or the void sea shores of Rubicon. For a representation of hell, Rubicon's actually a pretty chill place. Overall, it's very fun and unique, and just a straight up good mod. Clown Longlegs by Vigaro is a mod which turns the fan favourite Longlegs into clowns. These funny jesters emit clown music and honk every time they grab a surface. They kinda remind me of Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter. Okay, that was a low hanging fruit, I'm very sorry. Vestiges by Frostbird347 explores a very simple premise. Every time Slugcat meets its end, a firefly is spawned. These fireflies can be found as other characters you play, but the crazy part about it is you can see other players as fireflies. The color of the firefly displays what character died, which is compatible with modded Slugcats as well. Honestly, this is just a straight up amazing idea, and it's really well executed too. And for this reason, I'm giving it most creative mod of the month, so congratulations to the creator. This is definitely a must download for people who haven't tried it yet. Sporantula by Marbeline adds a new variant of the wolf spider. The Sporantula is pale white in colour, with black fangs. Some of you may notice this massive pulsating abdomen filled with spore puffs, with their little tails breaching out from the spider's body. The Sporantula is actually quite timid, and kind of follow the same behavioural patterns as the mother spider, being that they mostly avoid the slugcat unless you get in their way or piss them off. They are surprisingly agile, being able to dodge spears similar to an egg bug, and lunging with their fangs to traverse great distances. Their main power, however, is spitting high-speed spore projectiles at their targets. If the projectiles hit, they will disorientate the target. This disorientation may not last long, but with the Sporantula's high mobility, it might give them enough time to do a successful attack. They are pretty durable, requiring 2 Spearmaster hits on the abdomen to kill, or 3 on the body, which means they have a similar amount of health to a pink lizard. Successfully killing one causes its pulsating abdomen to explode, leaving behind its cephalothorax, which can be eaten at full efficiency for 4 food pips. Now obviously the Sporantula is made of spore puffs, so they are immune to the spore poison. With their newfound spore affinity, they kill and hunt other insects. Anytime a Sporantula sees another insect, their calm demeanor drops, and they immediately try to kill any insect with their spore projectiles. They will then act like a normal spider and bring whatever creature they killed back into their den using their fangs. Overall, this is basically a perfect creature variant, and you could make the case it beats some of the downpour ones. I am a massive fan of this creature, and so I'm giving it Mod of the Month. Congratulations to the author. I do want to mention that the Sporantula and the Surface Swimmer doesn't spawn naturally in the world, so you have to use manual tools such as Beastmaster or Dev Console. However, the Gaseous Spider will naturally spawn in the Weaved Nest subregion of Farshore, an upcoming mod by Muirmeist. Before I talk about the criteria, here are some small mods that deserve an honourable mention. Here is Balagaga's epic modding criteria. So if a mod meets all the requirements, it can end up in a future video. But yeah, I just wanted to explain how I include mods in these videos, just so no one gets mad at me if their favourite mod doesn't get in. But yeah, that's it for this month's mod showcase. I'll be back next month. See you all then. Goodbye.